What we're going to learn about today are different types of sedimentary rocks and how you can recognize them. These will be the same rocks that you will see in your rock lab and some of the same ones that you will see on your quiz. So we're going to do a mind map or a concept map, and as always, my paper is turned landscape because that's the way my board goes. If you'd like to do yours portrait, that would be fine. I'm going to start with a title and put it about in the top center. And since this is our Sedimentary Rocks flowchart, that's going to be my title. Just as a reminder, I'm also going to add a really short definition of what sedimentary rocks are made of. And they are made of pieces of other things. And what they're made of, what those things are, changes depending on what kind of sedimentary rock it is, as we'll talk about in a minute. But all sedimentary rocks are made of pieces of things. So we'll make that our starting point. The first type of sedimentary rock that we will talk about, and we'll label that this is a type here, is called clastic. Clastic sedimentary rocks are made of pieces of other rocks. It doesn't say what kind of other rocks. It could be sedimentary rocks that have been broken down and are making a new sedimentary rock. It could be igneous rocks that we talked about last time, or it could be metamorphic rocks, which we'll talk about next time. There are 3 clastic sedimentary rocks that you will see in your lab, and we distinguish between them based on the size of the pieces they're made of, and that's called grain size. So we'll start with the largest one. The rock that you will see with the largest grain size is called conglomerate. You might know that a conglomeration is just a big jumble of things kind of all together. So conglomerate is that kind of sedimentary rock. It has large grain size. That means the particles are very easy to see, like pebble size. So conglomerate would look like somebody took a bunch of pebbles and cemented them together. The next clastic sedimentary rock that we'll talk about, I'm going to snake that one down here, is called sandstone. And you could probably take a guess what sandstone is made of. Pieces of sand. So this one has what we call a medium grain size. It's smaller than a pebble, but you can still usually see the individual grains, at least with a magnifying glass. The third clastic sedimentary rock that you will see is called shale. And as you might expect, shale has a very fine grain size, very small grains. In fact, they are so small that you would definitely need a magnifying glass, and even then you might not be able to pick them out very well. The next type of sedimentary rock that we will talk about, and again we'll label that this is a type, is called chemical. Chemical sedimentary rocks are made by a chemical process. So that would be something that precipitates and the water evaporates away. What does that mean? There is a type of chemical reaction that forms a precipitate. If you think about the word precipitate or precipitation, it's usually used in terms of weather. Precipitation is stuff falling from the sky, like snow or like rain. When we use it in terms of a chemical reaction, it's usually in the case of two liquids that get mixed together, and then a solid is formed. And as that solid forms, it can kind of look like it's snowing inside that liquid. You can see the solid kind of drop to the bottom. And that's what precipitation means in the chemical sense. If you have a rock that's forming that way, it'd be the little pieces of the rock that would be precipitating, and then the water that it was in solution in would evaporate away. There are 3 chemical rocks that you will see in your lab. The first one is called crystalline limestone. That is made from the mineral that you've already seen called calcite. And you might remember that calcite reacts with acid, so that means limestone also reacts with acid. The second one is known as rock gypsum. Again, gypsum is a mineral that you've seen already, and it is made from calcium sulfate, CaSO4. So that would be the compound that would be precipitating in that one. And the third chemical rock that you'll see is known as rock salt. Just what it sounds like, it is salt. And its mineral name, we should remember from before, is halite. Rock salt is actually something that can be mined for, and you can dig it out of the ground, and it's a consumer product. You can buy that. The third type of sedimentary rocks, I'll put over here, is called biochemical. These are sometimes also called organic rocks. And you might guess by putting those two words together, the prefix bio and the word organic usually refer to things that have to do with life. So biochemical rocks are those that are made of pieces of once living things, things that were once alive. Could be plants, could be animals, things that were once alive. There are 2 of those that you'll see in your lab. The first one is called bituminous coal. Coal is something that you're probably familiar with. You probably know that it's black. You probably know that it's used as a fuel. You can burn coal and get energy from it. You might not know that there are 3 different types of coal. One you'll see in your sedimentary lab, one you'll see in your metamorphic lab. And that coal is made from pieces of mostly plants, but some animals as well. And they've been long dead, buried under lots of pressure underground, and eventually those pieces of plants and animals decay and are under enough pressure that they turn into the rock bituminous coal. The second one of these, and the last rock for our flow chart here, is called fossiliferous limestone. Fossiliferous limestone. This is made of pieces of seashells. Seashells are mostly made of calcite, which is the mineral that forms crystalline limestone. So you can see why this is still called limestone. It's the same mineral, but this has a different origin. It's not made by precipitation, it's made by pieces of seashells that have been ground up and kind of cemented together. Okay, we are done with our flowchart. This covers all the rocks that you will see in your lab, and this should help you identify which ones are which.